no question. Last week in Buffalo was a sensational game for New England quarterback Drew Bledsoe. Even Bill Parcells had nothing to complain about.
No, he didn't. Actually, Drew Bledsoe had the perfect game. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And the thing about this guy, which is scary, is this guy is getting better and better. The one thing about Bledsoe that makes him so unique is he's got 5 guys with 52 catches or more. That shows me that he is moving the ball around.
On the other hand, the Chicago Bears won't knock you out with statistics or many big names, but they have been very effective in a minimal mistake ball control philosophy, with Steve Walsh doing it as a starter with a record of 8-2. Patriots won the toss. They are receiving. And this is Leroy Thompson on the return. And he gets across the 30-yard line. A 21-yard return. It looked like Thompson may have coughed it up. The Bears say that they recovered, but the indication is that he was down by contact. Leroy Thompson, who broke his finger last week in the game against Buffalo on a kickoff return early in the quarter, on this opening kickoff return went down, and the ruling is the play is over.
He was going down, his knees were on the ground, and when knees are down, you're down.
So the Patriots starting out from the 32-yard line. That is Timpson in motion. And Bledsoe throwing on first down. Sam Gash stopped by the outside linebacker Joe Keane. Sam Gash coming off a career game in terms of running the ball last week, 56 yards on the ground. That is a pickup of about a yard.
Surprise first play, Pat? I don't think so.
Drew Bledsoe, 22 of 31, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions last week in the victory over the Bills. And Bledsoe now airing it out. It is broken up. The pass intended for Ben Coates, who comes in with 93 receptions, covered by the free safety, Mark Carrier.
Watch this. Coates is going to come across the middle, and Mark Carrier is going to close on the ball. The ball is thrown a little bit high. Watch Carrier right there. The ball's there, Carrier's there. That's great defense.
It's a 3rd and 10 at the 32-yard line. Mark Carrier, incidentally, playing with a dislocated thumb and a dislocated pinky. I said earlier in the season, playing with the cast wasn't as aggressive, but he has adjusted to it. And Bledsoe has the pass broken up. Wolford stepping in front of Brisby to get a piece of it.
Well, this whole thing starts out with Bledsoe with all the time in the world to throw the ball, and it looked like man coverage on Wolford on Brisby downfield. And when Bledsoe has this much time to throw the ball, usually he's effective. Watch the time he has. Nobody in his face. There's the throwing lane, and watch this close by Wolford. Boy, that's beautiful.
So it's 3 and out for the Patriots. And Pat O'Neill, the rookie from Syracuse, who had a good day last week against Buffalo, will punt it to Jeff Graham. The one-time Pittsburgh Steelers had an outstanding season for the Bears. Short kick handled by Graham. And Graham is swallowed up at the 48-yard line. A 29-yard punt and a 9-yard return. So the Bears to the offense for the first time. Jerry Fontenot, the only starter from a year ago, still starting on that offensive line. Heck, Perry, Fontenot, Lewenberg, and the big cat, 6'7" James Williams. The quarterback is Steve Walsh. Lewis Tillman, who played for Bill Parcells with the Giants, in the backfield, along with the rookie Raymond Harris, when they go 3 wide. Robert Green and Tom Waddle check in. And Walsh goes short range on first down, has Harris. Raymond Harris with a first down. Stopped by Vincent Brown. Harris goes for 17. Now, Paul, here's a guy who refers to himself as the ultra back. Had his best day in the NFL last week against the Rams. 23 carries and 92 yards.
Play action pass, holds the linebackers. The ultra back comes out of the backfield. Raymond Harris. and picks up a first down. They're at the 35-yard line. Good call.
Says he's the ultra back because the way he's constructed, he's not a halfback, fullback, tailback. He's all of the above.
And he named himself.
And a first down at the 35-yard line. Tillman with a short pickup. Vincent Brown from its side linebacker position comes up to make the stop. It's a pickup of 2. Pitts, Agnew, and Jones up front. Agnew for the injured Tim Gold at nose tackle. McGinnis, Brown, Moore, and Slade, the linebackers. Marty Moore back in the starting lineup. Ricky Reynolds had 2 fumble recoveries last week. Maurice Hurst leading the Patriots with 7 interceptions. Rod Smith comes in as the nickel. A 2nd and 8 at the New England 33-yard line with 2 minutes gone by in this opening quarter. Walsh took a look to the left, couldn't find anyone, and now completes. Oh, it's dropped. Marv Cook, the tight end, the one-time Patriot, appeared to have it and could not hold on.
That was a nice play by Walsh because McGinnis, number 55, was coming on a blitz on the outside, and then he rolls out Walsh to the outside and throws the ball. The ball should have been caught.
Looked like Chris Slade blocked the vision of Marv Cook. It's a 3rd and 8. At the 33-yard line. Last Sunday, the Bears turning it around after the walloping the previous week in Green Bay as they beat Rams, but the Bears have lost 2 of their last 3. Short set by Walsh. He's able to complete to Graham, but short of the first down, covered by the left corner, Ricky Reynolds.
You know, the one thing talking to Coach Dave Watts said about his football team, offensively and defense, Marv, he told us, look at, we really have a simple offense and simple defense. We don't ask our players individually to step up and to win a football game. We do it collectively. This is a very simple offense. They do the things that they do best. Let's run the ball in short passes.
And Kevin Butler will come on to attempt a 44-yard field goal. You see stat line on Butler last week, 2 of 2, hit from 41, hit from 30. High snap handled, and Butler puts it through. Chicago Bears with a 3-0 lead on the New England Patriots.
Conflict of interest here today at this football game because Gino Cappelletti, one of the all-time Patriot greats, does the radio analysis for the Patriots up in the radio booth, and his son-in-law, Tom Waddle, is a receiver for the Chicago Bears. The guy that put it all together is our own Mike Ditka. Gino is a friend of Mike's. Waddle was not drafted by anybody. Gino called Mike. Mike gave Tom Waddle a shot, and now he's one of the most sure-handed receivers in the league. Let's go back to the booth to Marv.
I will. Is that the softer side of Mike Ditka? Part of a matchmaking process. Hooked in on the kickoff return. Out to the 25-yard line. It's a 22-yard return by Rick Brenton. And let's check out the Patriot offensive line. Pro Bowler Bruce Armstrong at left tackle. Cratch, Arthur, Rucci, and Harlan. Those are the people up front. They've done a terrific job in terms of pass blocking. Bledsoe, the quarterback butts, has not been able to get going. Gash showing some signs recently. He will rotate with Kevin Turner. Brisby, Timpson, and Coates are the receivers, and Crittenden comes in the 3 wideout situation. First down at the 25-yard line for New England. And it's to the ground for Butts. Stopped by the middle linebacker, Dante Jones, making his return from the pulled chest muscle injury. Well, Drew Bledsoe has just taken the lead in terms of most pass attempts, passing by Warren Moon. Bledsoe, the 1 of 3 on the first drive, 656 attempts in all. It'll be a second down and 9. There's Bledsoe able to complete. Michael Timpson stopped by Joe King.
Complete to Michael Timpson.
Well, the Chicago Bears with Spellman, Zorich, Fontenot, and Armstrong up front. The linebackers, as I mentioned, Jones back in the middle. King playing the weak side. Vincent Smith, the one-time Cowboy, on the strong side. And the heart of the Bears defense, the secondary, led by Donnell Walker, is having an excellent year. When they go to the middle, Minter and Douglas, the key men to come on. It's a 3rd down and 2. Big hole for Butts, and he has a first down. The Bears off to the early lead by the count of 3-0 as Butler was able to connect. And Kevin Butler with going over the 1,000 career point mark. He's the 22nd player to score 1,000 points as Butler hit from 44 yards away. First down at the 37-yard line. Again the hole. Butts able to pick a first down up. Joe Keane on the stop as Butts went for 12.
Parcells told us yesterday about Butts gets in the open field and there's a safety or a corner in there. They kind of let him go by. But Joe Keane was a linebacker, number 59. But look at the blocking up front. Spellman, Lonzo Spellman, there's a double team. They get a good block there. Here comes Kane. Butts hits him and knocks him down. And then Butts goes over top of Kane. Good play. First down.
And a first down at the 49-yard line. It's Sam Gash. Short pickup by Gash.
Marv, we talked to Dave Wanstead yesterday. We said, you know, when you look at a team that really 2.8 per rush, the worst in the National Football League, everyone else is above at least 3 yards per carry. Do you kind of disregard the run? He said, are you kidding? We played Packers a couple weeks ago. They ran for over 200 yards. We know that this team can run the ball. They haven't been effective so far, but they can.
Second down and 7 at the 48. And Bledsoe had an open man. He had Vincent Brisby cutting through the middle.
Marvin Bledsoe, I mean, he knows that this was his fault. The Bears had a blitz on. Brisby is going across the middle, and he was open. You see him on the outside. Wolford lets him go inside. Look at how open he is. And Bledsoe knows it and overthrows pass. Watch Bledsoe at the end of this. You think he doesn't know it? Oh, no.
Mike Crittenden is to the right, and Timpson left for this third down and 7. A diving catch made by Brisby, covered by the right corner, Jeremy Lincoln. It's a 12-yard advance and a New England first down.
Well, what happens on this play is when you put Leroy Thompson out into the flat, and it opens it up, that makes you go one-on-one coverage. And when that happens, watch who's there, all by himself. First and 10, Brisby, because Thompson was out in the flat behind him, and Mangum, the fifth defensive back, had to cover him.
Now Brisby flanked to the right, and it is Butts, the ball carrier. Bill Parcells intent on getting Marion Butts involved here in the early going. Coming in, he's averaging only 2.9 yards per carry. Marion Butts' first 8 games, 309 yards, last 7, 363. He was slowed by preseason knee surgery after coming over from the San Diego Chargers. The question is it Butts? Is it a combination of Butts and the offensive line? Nice catch by Coates, but short of the first down. Reaching inside the 30, a flag has been thrown. And it's against the Patriots.
Holding against the Patriots. You know, you got to drive. This will drive a coach crazy, especially this coach here. I mean, you're in a drive.
Holding.
You're down by 3.
Offense, number 71. Yards. Repeat second down.
You get a play, you pick up about 6 or 7 yards. You get the third down and short, and then you go back to second down and long, very long.
And this is a matchup of 2 of the least penalized teams in the NFL. Chicago, number 1, and New England, number 2. Patriots have a second down and 18 at the Chicago 44. Bledsoe again had a man wide open. Ben Coates cutting down the field, but the pass sailed high.
You cannot believe how wide open Ben Coates is. Watch this, folks. Nobody covers him. Look at here. He's in the middle of the field. Hold it right there. You see a black shirt? There are no black shirts around him. And again, Bledsoe, you know, last week against Buffalo, Bledsoe hit Coates in the end zone, Marv. There was no one covering him. And he told us yesterday, he said, you know, I thought that there had to be a guy behind him. So I threw the ball out in front. I almost threw the ball away. That time he did.
Bill Parcells telling us on a number of occasions when Bledsoe appears to be nervous to throw up high. This time he completes the catch it, and he's forced out of bounds. Short of the first down by a good distance.
It's one of those areas where you go on fourth down. You're inside the 35-yard line. There is a little bit of breeze to kicking into it. And I was watching Barr before the game. He was not hitting any field goals. This is a fourth down situation where you're really forced. But I'm going to tell you something. Bledsoe, Marv, has had all the time to throw the football. The Bears are going to have to do something because they're not getting close to him with a four-man rush.
It's a fourth down and 8. If the Patriots chose to go for the field goal, it would be a 50-yard attempt. Bledsoe completes it, has the first down, combining with Vincent Brisby. Tackled by the left corner, Donnell Wolford. So Brisby with a second catch, and New England keeps the drive alive.
Well, this time now the Bears did come with some people. They ran a blitz, and you're sending like 5, 6, 7 people, which enables Brisby to be out there by himself. Here we are. Take a look at right in here. Look at all of these guys that are coming. There's 7 guys that are coming in. Right here, the blitz is on, but it leaves Brisby one-on-one on the outside. When you blitz, you go to man coverage.
Short play of the ground. Off the pitch. Ran back. Right at the line, he took a shot. Bo Douglas, number 37, a superb special teams player, backup defensive back, with the hit on Butts.
Yeah, and all Vincent Smith, number 55. Watch 55 fill the hole. The hole was there for a second. Now the hole closes. Here he comes. Here's 55 Smith. Douglas is there. But that's a hit in the hole.
Second down and 10 for the Patriots. At the Bear 20, Chicago 3. Bledsoe. Going to complete to John Burke, a backup tight end who played a prominent role last week with 4 receptions. Let's see where they spotted. There's John Burke, rookie from Virginia Tech. It is just shy of a first down. The New England Patriots with 6 straight wins, trying to make it 7 in a row with match their longest win streak of all time. 1978, under Chuck Fairbanks, the team had a 7-game win streak. In '86, they won 7 straight. Third down play. Bucks. It's stopped. Marion Bucks trying the right side, turn back.
I don't think there's a decision to make here. And again, Vincent Smith, number 55, is the guy that makes the play. You kick the field goal. You tie the ball game up. Put points on the board when you can.
This the 14th play of the drive that you just saw. And Bill Parcells opting for the field goal attempt from Matt Barr. It will come from 29 yards away. Barr has had a terrific season. And he's able to put it through. So the game is tied at 3 with 4:08 left. First quarter. From all of us here at NBC Sports, we welcome you back to Soldier Field in Chicago, the 94th consecutive sellout at Soldier Field, better than 66,000 on hand. Game is tied at 3. Nate Boyd, one of the best in the NFL, on the kickoff return. And he's submarine down across the 40. A 21-yard return by the 5-year man out of Oregon Tech. And Harris coming off the next game last week against the Rams. He's been a surprising 4th-round draft pick out of Ohio State with great potential. We talked about him with head coach Dave Wanstead.
The concern we had, being a tailback in college, would it be tough enough to play fullback? And the guy there really has has shown us that he is tough enough, and you know, he's going to be an exciting player for us here in the years come.
Did he tell you right away he is the ultra back?
Yeah, he tells everybody that. I want to see some ultra back today.
The ultra back, Raymond Harris, but the handoff goes to Lewis Tillman, the other man in the Chicago backfield. Marty Moore, the inside linebacker, making the stop.
Second and 2 for the Bears at their own 48.
He's not a halfback, Paul. He's not a fullback. He's a combination type role player. He feels he can do more than a halfback or a fullback.
He is ultra back.
Tillman went for 8. It's a second down and 2 at the 48-yard line. Bears and Patriots are tied at 3. And here is Harris getting the call. And the ultra back this time is stopped back behind the line by Vincent Brown. We're set for an update. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Marv, the Browns and the Seattle Seahawks in Cleveland, and the Browns are on the board first on this 5-yard touchdown run by Eric Metcalf. With a win today, Cleveland will host a wild card game. They would do so with a tie as well. They lead Seattle 7-0 in the first. Marv?
Thank you, Greg. And the scenario here in Chicago, if the Bears win or tie, they are in the playoffs. If the Patriots win or tie, they are in the playoffs. And there are many possibilities. Third down and 3, and Walsh tries to go long, and a flag has been thrown. Jeff Graham covered by the right corner, Maurice Hurst. You will rarely see Steve Walsh throw the long ball. That time it attracted a flag.
They're going to call us on Maurice Hurst for getting his arm out. But I think what Bill Parcells is saying...
Defense number 37. 5 yards, automatic.
It's a legal touch. It doesn't make any difference. What he's saying, what Parcells is saying, that ball is not catchable. Here comes Hurst. Graham, watch it. There it is. You see that? When he gets his left arm out, they call it. You can't touch the guy. Once they go by 5 yards, here it is. That's the touch. And that's all it is a touch. I hate that call. They gotta adjust it. Pass interference, legal hit, legal touch.
And it's a first down for the Bears at the New England 47. Here is a flea-flicker attempt by Walsh, and it does not work. No one in sight for the Bears.
Well, the reason no one in sight is because everyone covered very well. Ricky Reynolds did a great job downfield on Conway. There was really no place to throw the football.
Philadelphia 0.
Steve Walsh, a one-time backup in Dallas, a starter in New Orleans, and lost the starting job. Did not play a game at all in 1992, and then signed on with the Bears as a free agent, and has beaten out Eric Kramer and has done very well as a starter. A record of 8 up and 2 down. Second down and 10 at the 47 with Conway in motion. Back to the ground. Raymond Harris stopped by the outside linebacker, Chris Slade. Steve Walsh in his 6th NFL season out of Miami. Very accurate, short-range passer. Well, Paul, as you take a look at Walsh down through the years, 0-92, did not play at all, as I mentioned. 8-2 as a starter with the Bears, but how about as a collegiate at Miami? 23-1, which includes a national championship.
Boy, Wanstead likes him so much.
Wanstead was on that Miami staff under Jimmy Johnson, as he was with the Dallas Cowboys. Walsh's pass overthrown. Intended for Robert Green coming out of the backfield. Brings up a 3rd and 4.
But that pass looked like it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Chris Gardocki is in punt formation.
Correction, it's a 4th down play coming.
No, that ball was just overthrown. You're absolutely right on Robert Green. Walsh is saying, oh, all I have to do is get it down a little bit. I thought Aaron Jones had his hand, or Mike Jones had his hand up in the air.
So the punting unit is checked in. Chris Gardocki. Although had one of his better outings last week against the Rams. And it skips through, so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. It's a 42-yard punt, and the Patriots will take over. T-Day, Montana pulling off some magic, and the Chiefs won the game 13-3. us coming up next for our viewers in Chicago, and we'll be signing off at the conclusion of this game for NFL regulations. So please check your local listings for the game in your area. On a defensive conference at the New England sideline with a minute and a half to go in this first quarter. Patriots take over at the 20-yard line, and again Butts gets the call. Carl Simpson involved on the stop, so we are seeing Marion Butts handling the ball on a regular basis in this first quarter.
6 first down plays, 5 in the last drive, and this one here on first down. The Patriots, really not like them, ran the football. I think one of the things they're thinking about too, Marv, is the fact that the clock is running down. We're getting down inside of a minute, and if they have to punt, they would like to punt with what little bit of wind there is if they wait till the second quarter.
Butts has carried 7 times for 24 yards. Second and 8. Play action. And Gash was covered by Smith. Vincent Smith right there. The Bears were not fooled.
Alonzo Spellman, number 90, gets some pressure on the quarterback here. Bruce Armstrong is the guy who's blocking us. Look at this. Now he gets up. He wants to hear this crowd. Get the crowd in the game. Hey, I need all the help I can. Here's you. Look at the hands of that guy.
We were talking with Alonzo yesterday. Incidentally, he did not come through with any guarantees. He guaranteed victory against Minnesota and Green Bay, staying away from it against the Patriots. Those are games lost by the Bears. Big hole, and Leroy Thompson picks up the first down. Mark Carrier on the tackle. That's the end of the first quarter. It's the Bears and the Patriots tied at 3. Between head coach Bill Parcells and his young quarterback Drew Bledsoe, sometimes extremely heated on the part of Parcells. We talked about that relationship with Bledsoe.
I think that he's starting to respect me and my knowledge of what's going on and so on, so that I can come and if I have something to say, I can say it, and he'll hear me, and so on. And that relationship will get better and better. But the one thing he learned about dealing with him is that he speaks loudly, and sometimes if you want to get through to him, you got to speak loudly back, or he doesn't hear you. So, you learn that, and that's just part of knowing people.
In effect, they're now both speaking loudly to each other, as you just saw Bledsoe complete to Brisbane to open up the second quarter.
But not necessarily in away games where you can't hear each other. They do it at home also. The Pats in the first quarter, Marv, 10 minutes and 29 seconds, they ran for 33 yards rushing. Against Buffalo, they didn't have 33 yards rushing in the first 3.5 quarters.
Once again, trying to force feed the running game. First down at the 47. Play action by Bledsoe, who gets the tie and completes to Brisbane. And Brisbane works his way down to the 21-yard line. That's a 33-yard gain. The stop by Mark Carrier.
Marv, you want to see a guy that has confidence in his offensive line? Folks, just watch Bledsoe. Watch this. He's looking. He's looking. He's waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting. That's confident in your offensive line. And then when Brisbane is wide open coming across the middle, after he goes through 3 different guys, he hits him with the ball. Now that is great touch, man.
4th catch of the day, number 56 on the season for Brisbane. And a first down at the 21. Here is a reverse for Timpson. And that fooled the Bears. Michael Timpson on a reverse, going from right to left, went for 11, and a New England first down.
This is the first reverse that this team has run all year. First one. And look how nice. I hate reverse. You know how I feel about reverse, but that baby there won for him. I mean, they got him 10 yards, and that was a good call. I don't like him. I'm sorry. Too many bad things can happen on a reverse.
Well, it is a first down for the Patriots just outside the 10-yard line. This is Gash. Works his way to the 6. Tripped up by Wolford.
You know, Ben Coates is an all-pro tight end, and he catches the ball extremely well. Well, here's old Ben on the outside. Let's see if he blocks very well. He's on Ullman. Does he block very well? He got a piece of Spellman. That's all he had to do is keep his man off the ball carrier, and they picked up 4 yards on the play.
second down. About 4. Bunts stopped as he gets inside the 5-yard line.
With this whole thing jammed up by the Bears here on the goal line, play action pass now. Remember last week he did that with Coates and he threw one against the Buffalo Bills. Coates came across the end zone. There wasn't a soul near him. I know they're going to be covering Coates, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to John Burke, number 85, the other tight end.
Nice play on the drive. A third down and 4 at the 5-yard line. Bledsoe again with the 10. Now facing pressure. And Bledsoe is hit down at the line. Met by Dante Jones.
The ball carrier, handled by Dante Jones.
Patriots kick the field goal here. There's no question about that. They've got 4th down and about 4.5. You put points on the board again. But that time, Bledsoe waited a long time. Boy, he has an awful lot of confidence in an offensive line, doesn't he?
That bar earlier hit from 29. This is a 22-yard attempt to give the Patriots a 3-point lead. And he does. New England 6, Chicago 3. We are early second quarter.
Look at him. He's just saying, hey, you got to get to this quarterback. Watch his arms. You got to get upfield. You got to hit some people. You got to force this guy to throw early. If you don't, we're not going to be in this game for very long.
Dave Wanstead, very intense, emotional coach. Only a second year with the Chicago Bears, and he has brought this club along very well as they gun for a playoff position, record of 9-6. Tied with Minnesota and Detroit for first place in the NFC Central, a game over Green Bay. Here's Lewis on the return, a straight-ahead move out to the 28-yard line, and it's stopped by Terry Ray, a 23-yard kickoff return.
You know, the one thing you said at the beginning when you showed this lineup of the Chicago Bears offense, only one guy from last year is starting in the offense, on the entire offense, and that's Jerry Butno, the center, number 67, and that's amazing. This team is 9-6.
Yeah, they've had a solid season on the offensive line. A revamped offensive unit. First down for the Bears at the 27-yard line. They're going to the single back once again. It is Raymond Harris. And it looked like the ball may have been worked free for just a moment, but he's able to hang on. Now there is Jeff Graham in his 4th year out of Ohio State. One-time member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. His brother Walter died of brain cancer last year. Those are Walter's initials. Walter Graham. Before Walter had died, he made the point to Jeff, who had his ups and downs with the Steelers. He told him, don't mess it up in Chicago. Jeff was not, because Walter was extremely encouraging. Penalty flag is thrown as Tillman was the ball carrier.
Chris Slade was there, and there's a reason for that. They were offside. One of the reasons why they were there.
Referee is Larry Nevers.
Defense offside. Number 96. 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
Well, that is Mike Jones, the right defensive end.
Well, we're right here in the middle of the screen. Watch up in here, and you're going to just see getting a little. That's a little too soon. I'm surprised they didn't stop it because he made contact. Mike Jones made contact, and when you make contact, they usually blow the play dead.
Second down and 4. Play action. And yes, completes to Curtis Conway. Ricky Reynolds on the tackle. It's a 19-yard hookup. Walsh to Conway.
Boy, your play action passes work so well. I mean, it freezes people. Watch number 21, Ricky Reynolds. He's looking in the backfield. That's a play action pass. He's looking in the backfield. He is not looking at Conway. You've got to play the receiver. This is what Ricky Reynolds is looking at right here. See the play action? Fake to Harris. Walsh, good play, and it gets the ball to the outside. When you're looking back in the backfield, you have no chance.
Lewis Tillman, the ball carrier. Quick count by the Bears. Chris Slade on the stop. Curtis Conway, last week against the Rams, returned to the starting lineup for the first time in a month. He'd been out with an injured thigh. Second down and 8 at the 45-yard line. Had a nice chat with Lewis Tillman, a one-time Giant who played under Bill Parcells. In fact, has a Super Bowl championship ring. The 1990 Giants with Lewis Tillman as an extra. That's Tillman. Out to the 41-yard line, met by Marty Moore. Lewis Tillman has run for 866 yards coming in, but still not satisfied with the way things have gone this year.
It's not the team. He's not satisfied with himself. You know, the first I said to Lewis Tillman, I said, you know, you played for Parcells when you came into the league. Did he ever yell at you? He looked at me with a little gleam in his eye and he said, the very first day. And he didn't stop. He and Dave Meggett both came in at the same time and he yelled at both of them. If he doesn't like you, he wouldn't yell at you.
It's a third down and 4. And it was dropped by Graham. Crowd looking for an interference on Reynolds, who was providing the coverage.
Now here's the situation. We saw Maurice Hurst put his arm out. Now you see two guys who are really fighting for the ball. And when they're fighting for the ball, watch what happens. They're back, excuse me, beyond 5 yards. They're touching each other. I mean, now that's not illegal contact.
Well, Chris Gardocki will punt away to Troy Brown. Short punt once again, and a diving catch by Brown. That is only a 21-yard punt. And the Patriots on first down will throw through the hands of Sam Gash, who is covered by Vincent Smith.
When we were away, you know, Al Grove, defense, writing some things down. You see this piece of paper? Look at right here. You know what that's from? That's from his hotel. And I think if they get into the playoffs and they get a little extra money, they'll be able to buy some pads that they can use, a bigger pad anyway, so the guys can see this. But Al is using everything at his disposal to help his team out.
High-tech defensive work by the defensive coordinator Al Grove with a pad that has been borrowed by Al from the hotel. Second down play, flag thrown as Gash is driven back.
Gash carried.
Bledsoe already made the signal holding against his team.
As they sort out the penalty, let's check in. Gumble, Greg.
All right, Marv, at Cleveland, Vinny Testaverde having himself a good afternoon against the Seattle defense. This is a 35-yard touchdown pass to Mark Carrier, and with the extra point, the Browns have gone up on Seattle now 14-0 in the second, Marv.
All right, Greg, 8 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in the second quarter. The penalty was declined. It'll be a second down and 10 for the Patriots at the 20-yard line. Drew Bledsoe, 9 of 14, 101. Making a third down, 3rd and 8 at the 22.
There's a surprise that to refuse that penalty against him. How to put him back.
Pass knocked down.
Alonzo Spellman, number 90. He ought to be able to knock him down with the hands he's got.
Alonzo Spellman in his 3rd year out of Ohio State.
Alonzo Spellman, look at the hands on this guy. Now he's playing Armstrong, reading the quarterback. Look at that ball actually hit him in the chest. Never hit him in the hands.
So Pat O'Neill punted to Jeff Graham. Graham runs it out of bounds, a 49-yard punt and a 9-yard return. We'll be right back.
Pat O'Neill's a punter. You must pay attention at all times because watch Myron Baker, number 91. But this is really a call for because the guy's already out of bounds and the officials are standing there. I mean, you should call this. There's no reason for that. But again, from here on out, Patrick will be paying attention.
Patriot bench very upset that a flag was not thrown. First down at the 38-yard line, and Raymond Harris is stopped by the right defensive end. Mike Jones for the Chicago Bears. A look at their first 3 possessions. They go 5 plays and kick a field goal, and then 5 plays and punt, another 5, and again a punt.
Raymond Harris, after all of that, is limping off the field. So offensively, they're just not doing what they want to do. Field goals are not going to win this football game, even though the Patriots have 2 and they have 1.
Raymond looked by Tony Potter, rookie from Minnesota, wearing number 30. Play action looked like Walsh slipped and then throws high. Incomplete. Intended for Keith Jennings, covered by the free safety Myron Guyton.
Well, Chris Slade, he's been working on looking at LT. That's Lawrence Taylor. Some of his moves. Here's that spin move. He spin. He gets Walsh coming out after he throws the ball, but he really didn't hit him that hard. But Slade, when you make that spin move, you got to make it a little further outside. You don't spin inside. It's like a dance.
3rd down and 8 for the Bears. Patriots with a 6-3 lead. And a diving catch made by Tom Waddle. With the marker, covered by Ricky Reynolds. Tom Waddle, who earns his living as a superb 3rd down receiver. Missed 5 games with a knee problem. Returned last week, and there is his father-in-law, New England Patriot color commentator, Gene Caponetti.
Well, you got to look where they marked this ball on Waddle. Now, Waddle looked like he was further downfield. He may get the first down. Onstead is out on the field. He is really upset about it because of the mark where Waddle catches the ball. It's an outstanding catch. He may still have the first down, but this is a very fair mark, I don't think. Yeah, he going to get it anyway. Yeah, he got it anyway. That's okay. Now everything's all wrong. Waddle to the outside. Remember, again, when you start blitzing people and sending a lot of people, that means you have one-on-one coverage to the outside. This ball is thrown to the outside. Look at this catch by Waddle. That is absolutely a perfect catch. See right here, when you see this catch, he looks like he's beyond the marker. Waddle makes a catch to the outside. Ricky Reynolds has no chance whatsoever on the ball. Good throw, good catch.
Bears first down at their 48-yard line. 6.5 to go in the first half. Conway in motion. That was not disguised very well as Tillman was hit by the combination of Slade and Hurst.
Well, I don't know if they were going to run a reverse to Graham or not, or Graham was supposed to come in the block. And now here comes Chris Slade, number 53, down the line. He just goes inside and makes the play. But right here, hold on, right there. This guy here, Graham, is coming down the line of scrimmage. Now, whether he's supposed to block or not, I don't know. Here comes Tillman to the outside, but out on the left-hand side. Now, Graham was coming down in the block, and he never got the block.
A loss of 3 and a second and 13. Walsh looking to throw, and then throws it away. Robert Green was down as a potential receiver. Robert Green, a third-year man from William and Mary.
I think the Patriots can do enough by sending just 4 people. With 3 down linemen and send a linebacker. And I think they can do well enough against the Chicago Bears offensive line. They seem to be doing that. When they get into a blitz situation, again, you end up with one-on-one coverage, and you really put your defensive backs at a disadvantage.
It's a 3rd and 13. Walsh 4 for 10, 51 yards. He's looking deep and then went short range for Harris. So Raymond Raymond Harris, who had limped off just moments ago, is back in there. Harlan Barnett, the strong safety, making the stop, preventing the Bears from collecting a first down.
See, here's the difference, Marv. When you have 4 guys, you see these 4 guys running along here? Those are the only guys that are going to rush. Watch this. Coverage downfield is perfect. So what do you have to do as a quarterback? I have to dump it off to Raymond Harris. Once you do that, then your series there to make the play.
And third punt of the game for Gardocki. So Brown calling a fair catch at the 11. 37-yard punt, just under 5 minutes to go. First half, Patriots by 3 points.
My hands were still shaking you too, because I'm writing an article on basketball from now on.
I see. I figured you'd hang around and take in the game in person.
I'm going to hang out at home and take it in on TV.
Well, that's okay. We'll accept that.
Thank you so much.
New England starting out from the 12-yard line. And Bledsoe able to rifle it. Again, Vincent Brisby, who has had a terrific first half. That's his 5th catch of the half for 82 yards in all. And it's a first down for the Patriots.
Here's Alonzo Spellman again. We've been showing you him now. He's on Armstrong. Watch this. He's now in coverage. Ups, hey, I'm in coverage. And the ball's out there. I mean, with those hands, he's got to be able to get up. The thing at that point, they had 3 receivers in one area. And Bledsoe found the open man.
Patriots first down at the 24-yard line. New England 6 and Chicago 3. A blue pass thrown. Intended for Kevin Turner, who was covered by the outside linebacker Joe Kane.
You know, the one thing about Bledsoe, you know, we talked about him. They've got 5 guys with 52 catches or more. Now, here's Bledsoe this time. He's trying to get the ball out here to Kevin Turner. He sees him one-on-one on the outside. He just tries to loop the ball up over. There's excellent coverage by the linebacker Joe Kane. No place throws the ball away. He spreads it around, Marv.
Well, Bledsoe has hit 10 of 17 to this point, 112 yards. Looking at a 2nd and 10. To the ground. A nice hole for Leroy Thompson, who gets out to the 30-yard line. Advance of 6. Sean Gale, the strong safety, making the stop. The Chicago secondary, as we mentioned earlier, has been the heart of the Bears defense. Combination of Gale and Wolford and Carrier and Lincoln. But we were talking about it with Mark Carey yesterday. Very upset with their play against Green Bay a couple of weeks back. 3rd down and 2 at the 31-yard line. And Patriots not able to pick it up. Thompson stopped by Smith. In that Green Bay game with Chicago blown out, Mark Carrier telling us that the defense made, what, 20 mental mistakes? Says we should make about 5 or 6. Now, Paul, you make about 20 mental mistakes on the way to the stadium.
Yeah, can you imagine? This was a 12 o'clock game here. If I'd have had till 1 o'clock, I'd have had more than that.
No mental mistakes on this drive as the Bears do a good job at holding the Patriots in check, and they are forced to punt. O'Neal with the punt to Jeff Graham, who has to backpedal, takes at the 10. Finds the running room down the sideline. O'Neal is back, and he trips up Graham. Flag has been thrown. So the punter, O'Neal, on the tackle. A 59-yard punt, but it's a 44-yard return, depending on the penalty call.
There's actually 2 flags. One was thrown at the 42-yard line, and then another one was thrown at the tackle. I like the in-house announcer. There could be as many as 2 flags on the play. But Parcells is saying, if you read his lips, it's easy to read his lips. I can say, he said it's before the punt is what he's talking about. They had a hold. I think there's a holding penalty. Bill try to help out as much as he possibly can.
And as we mentioned earlier, New England and Chicago running 1-2 in terms of fewest penalties taken. The crowd impatient as the officials try to come up with a decision.
Well, we know there are 2 flags on this play, 2 separate penalties. That we do know. And I think both of them are against the Bears.
The question on the penalty, which is the point that Parcells was trying to express, was the call a holding call on Chicago before the punt.
See, Dave Watt sets up some walkies. He has to argue. He's getting himself ready.
We have 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in this first half. Patriots with a 6-3 lead on the Bears.
Parcells wants the ball. He said that this penalty occurred before you kicked the ball. And if that's the case, then that is a holding penalty, which would be an automatic first down. That's what he is arguing about, or he wants to hear. I mean, 2 guys threw the flags. Why don't you just talk to the 2 guys that threw the flag? Bring back instant replay.
Yeah, right.
No. We're going to get a decision before 5 o'clock.
This is one of the longer discussions that we have seen this season. And I know you're not serious about instant replay, but instant replay, even when it was in effect, would not involve this type of play.
Absolutely.
But I know you're just kidding.
I don't kid. Yeah. Here we go. I know the Bears are walking back. The ball is coming way back.
We have 2 fouls
Here we go.
on the play. We have a post-possession foul on the receiving team, on the wide receiver, for tripping.
That's not the one Bill's looking for. You can see Parcells. Here it comes.
We have a holding penalty against the wide receiver of the kicking team. We have a tripping foul against the receiving team.
Well, that's one
Number 5. The penalty will be to put the ball in possession at the place where the receiving team caught the football. 1st and 10.
Look at Wanstead's gone crazy. He has the ball. He's still going. Wait a minute. Hold on. Timeout. Parcells is kind of happy with this deal.
Well, it erases the good return by Graham, who had run for 44 yards, and it puts the Bears back at the 10-yard line. That's where Graham handled the punt from O'Neill.
Well, Parcells is not happy with the call, and obviously Dave Wanstead is not happy with the call. That's Danny Abramowitz who got in the argument, his special teams coach right behind him. He's arguing. Something wrong with this call. All right, up here on the top of the screen, we'll see what happens here. Now, here is the holding penalty that they called. And that should have been called before the kick. And then it was a tripping by the punter.
But the Bears start at the 10-yard line, and the crowd wanted a penalty right there. The pass intended for Curtis Conway.
Now, Maurice Hurst was going for the ball, and the ball wasn't even near being catchable. He was going through the player at the ball. And remember one thing about it, when the ball is in the air, that both players have as much right to the ball. So Maurice Hurst is going for the ball. That wasn't catchable anyway. He hurt his arm there.
Maurice Hurst is a man who knows Steve Walsh very well. They work out together in the offseason in New Orleans. He first played his college ball at Southern University. It's a 2nd down and 10. And that is broken up. Raymond Harris, the intended receiver, Myron Guyton, to make the contact to keep it away. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel. Greg?
All right, Marv, the Cleveland Browns getting a pretty good handle on hosting a wild card game. Vinny Testaverde has thrown for a touchdown. Now he runs it in from a yard out, and in the Christmas spirit decides to play Santa Claus at the back of the end zone. Merry Christmas, bub. 21-0. The Browns lead the Seahawks approaching halftime. Marv?
All right, Greg, we are approaching halftime here with 2.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. 3rd down and 10 for the Chicago Bears. And Walsh floats one intended for Waddle.
You know, we saw Bledsoe throwing the ball to wide open people, overthrow him. Here's Waddle is wide open here, and this ball is a duck. This thing comes out of here. Look at this thing. That's going all over the joint, and no chance to get it. And Waddle was open. Would have been 1st down.
4th punt of the day. Gardocki into the wind. Brown is back and handles it on the fair catch inside the 45-yard line. A 33-yard punt by Gardocki. Well, coming up next on most of these NBC stations, it'll be game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. And as we did earlier, most of you will see Joe Montana and the Chiefs in a do-or-die situation against their arch rivals, the Los Angeles Raiders. As you look at the playoff picture, some of you will see what could be a playoff preview. Rod Woodson and the Steelers taking on the San Diego Chargers. So 1st down at the 43-yard line. Bledsoe nearly intercepted by Spellman. That ball thrown very hard. Spellman got a piece of it.
These are the things that drive Parcells nuts about Bledsoe. What he doesn't like to see the young man doing. Now, Spellman is there. Watch it. The blocking is at the line of scrimmage. But watch Bledsoe now. He doesn't even see Spellman. He hits him right in the mouth with the ball. Alonzo, he hit him in the chest earlier, hit him in the mouth with this one. But that's the one thing that drives Parcells nuts about Bledsoe. I mean, if you're going to throw the ball away, throw the ball away.
2nd down and 10. I saw the jumping from the Chicago side of the line. Spellman reacting. Penalty flag was thrown. Frisbee, the intended receiver.
Bledsoe has an awful lot of confidence in this offensive line. I mean, and they protected him very well.
Defense, offside, number 90, 5 yards, beat 2nd down.
Now, Alonzo Spellman, you make a good play, and then you make this play. It's not so good. And you're offside, and you cost your team 5 yards. You know one thing about Bledsoe, he will sit there, and he will sit there and wait and wait and wait.
Second down and 5 at the Chicago 38-yard line. Patriots 6 and the Bears 3. Thompson off the inside handoff has a 1st down. Spellman making the stop on the Roy Thompson, which brings us up to 2 minutes to go in the 1st half.
That's a 2-minute warning.
Well, coming up at halftime, the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Greg Gumbel, Mike Dichter, Joe Gibbs will bring you the scores, and the highlights will also preview the big late game of our twin bill, the Chiefs and the Raiders. Greg, looking at that rivalry over the years, that's all coming up at halftime. 2 minutes to go in this 1st half. Patriots 6 and the Bears 3. This is certainly Chicago's type of game. They did not want to see Bledsoe get going. Obviously, they feel they can't get involved in any kind of a shootout situation.
No, actually, when you talk to these guys, you can understand if they get the Chicago Bears, especially near halftime. Now, Patriots score a touchdown, that would put them up 13-3, up by 10. But Chicago figures if they ever get 17 points behind, just don't have the team that can come back from a 17-point deficit.
Bears do not have the big play people in the skill positions to match the likes of Bledsoe and Coates, although Coates to this point has not come up with a catch. The Bears, with that controlled offense that rarely beats itself, or issue penalties, or issue turnovers. 1st down at the 31-yard line, and again to the ground. Kevin Turner stopped by Dante Jones, and New England has been able to establish a running game in this first half.
Well, they ran on first down again. Remember that one drive where they had came down the field and they had the ball in the first quarter for over 10 minutes. They had 5 first down plays, and 5 of them were running plays. Now this just sets up the pass is all it does, because they're going to throw the ball.
Patriots have run though for 72 yards on 18 carries, 2nd and 8. And Bledsoe does throw, but it's incomplete through the hands of Turner, who was covered by Jones.
They've got people all over Ben Coates. I mean, that time he ended up with Vince Smith, number 55, the linebacker, eventually on him. We're going to see, here's Coates right here coming off the line of scrimmage. Now watch what happens. There's Vincent Smith. He's on him. He's on him. He's on him. There's a safety back in the back. Number 23, Sean Gale, was there. That man right there was there if the ball would have been thrown. So you're seeing 2 men Coates at all times.
3rd down and 8. Ben Coates with 93 catches coming into today. Bledsoe now 10 of 19. He's missed on his last 3 attempts. And now complete. And has a first down with Thompson. Leroy Thompson out of the backfield and then taken down by the extra defensive back, John Mangum. A timeout has been called by the Patriots with 1:10 remaining in this first half.
He has so many weapons, and we said before about Drew Bledsoe looking around. Watch Bledsoe look over this entire field. He's looking at Coates on his right. Forget that, I can't get there. And then he sees Thompson underneath. Leroy Thompson for the first down. There's just so many weapons. I mean, so many guys that can catch the ball for him. Again, I'm going to repeat one more time that they have 5 guys going into this game with 52 catches or more. And that's, it's really never been done.
Leroy Thompson playing with a broken finger on his left hand, and he said it would affect his pass catching. We just saw him on that reception. Leroy Thompson acquired in a trade from Pittsburgh, and as this season has progressed, has become more of a significant player in coming on to spell Marion Butts. Parcells likes to rotate his backs. He does it with Turner and Gash, and he's got it with Butts and Thompson. First down for the Patriots at the Chicago 20-yard line. Bledsoe completes, but a short-range hookup this time with Thompson, who was covered by Kane. Joe Kane was right there.
The linebackers for the Chicago Bears are very, very active. They get a lot of mileage out of these guys. They do a lot of great coverage in the short areas. And I'm talking the short areas anywhere from 10 yards on in. At the time, Kane was there to make a nice stop on Leroy Thompson.
Joe Kane is back on the outside. Last week he played in the middle for the injured Dante Jones. 2nd down and 8 at the 18-yard line. And Bledsoe throwing end zone. Wolford keeping it away from Brisby.
What an outstanding play by Donnell Wolford. I mean, just super coverage on the outside. Bledsoe is going straight up. It's up into the corner, trying to hit Brisby. He looks off. Now Wolford didn't take the bait. Look at this. Watch this play. Hand in, knocks the ball away. Perfect coverage. Doesn't get any better than that, folks. Here it is. Now Wolford, look at it. He's not touching. He turns. He gets that left arm in there. Nice play.
8th play of the drive. It's a 3rd and 8. 25 seconds to go in the half. Bledsoe is taken down. Alonzo Spellman with his 7th sack of the season, and that's the first sack of the game.
That's what Dave Watson was saying when we showed him on the sidelines to that defensive line. You've got to get upfield. Alonzo Spellman beats Bruce Armstrong to the outside. He's around him now. Bledsoe doesn't see him from the backside. He has confidence in Armstrong, who's an all-pro. Alonzo Spellman beats him. They're going to try and kick a field goal here.
Spellman was telling us yesterday he studied the moves of Bruce Smith. He feels there are some similarities in their style, and he felt that he might try to handle Armstrong the same way that Smith did last week, although Bruce Armstrong did an excellent job against Bruce Smith.
And he also said, I will not be using those moves in this game.
Down to 1 second remaining.
This
is a field goal attempt coming up from 45 yards away. If the Bears can win or tie, they are in the playoffs. If the Patriots win or tie, they are in the playoffs. For the Bears, it's their most significant game of the month of December since back in 1991. And the kick, it's no good. A rare miss. A rare miss from Matt Barr. And that's how the first half comes to a close.
This ball was way left. I mean, that ball never had a chance.
At the half, Patriots 6 and the Bears 3. Now to get you caught up on all the action from around the NFL, let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York. Paul, when you look at a New England team that is 4th in total offense, they have really been held in check in this first half. Only 2 field goals, that's been it, and they're trying to run the ball more than usual.
I think they've got to start throwing the football. But the one thing right before the half, Mr. Steve Walsh almost made a disastrous play. Art Guyton is the outside number 29. Raymond Harris is number 29 for the Bears. Look at this play. Had that ball been a little bit lower, it would have been touchdown New England. The score is 6-3. But I think in order for the Patriots to win this football game, and you talk about the powerful offense, Marv, they have to throw the football.
All right, a look at the Coors Light halftime statistics.
Well, take a look at rushing yardage. The Bears. Now, there is really a surprise. Only 22 yards, 80 yards total. But look at the passing. For New England, it's only 140. 70 is really impressive. But the only problem with that is 2 field goals. They're not scoring. They only score when they really throw the football.
And Pat O'Neill getting set to kick it off to the Chicago Bears. The deep man is Nate Lewis, who's had a good day. He's averaging 25 yards per return on the season, among the leaders in the NFL. There's Lewis in his 5th year out of Oregon Tech. And a short kickoff. Lewis to the outside. And runs it across the 35-yard line. He went for 20. Let's check in with Will McDonough on the field. Will?
Okay, Marv, the coaches were a little different at halftime. I ran up the tunnel behind Dave Wannstedt. He was yelling at his players, we got the flow the way we want it. We got the flow, meaning what Paul talked about earlier. It's a close game the way they want to play it. Bill Parcells told his players at the half, this is a new game. Forget the end of the first half. Just look at it as a new game. And the umpire, Al Conway, told me that's only the 2nd time in 20 years he's seen that penalty at the end of the half. Marv?
2nd time in 20 years. All right, the Chicago Bears start out from the 35-yard line. And here's Walsh. It's picked off, but let's see, was he in bounds? Apparently not. Ricky Reynolds out of bounds. Pass intended for Curtis Conway.
2nd time in 20 years. It took him 20 minutes to make the call. All right, let's go to the outside. Here we go. Down. Curtis Conway, this ball, he slips down, Curtis Conway. And look at Ricky. That ball is thrown way to the outside. No chance to get, but he makes the catch, but no chance to stay in bounds. Walsh has thrown some pretty shaky patterns.
And he is now 5 for 15. 2nd and 10 at the 5-yard line. 2nd back coming through, Lewis Tillman. And he is stopped by the left defensive end, Mike Pitts, along with the inside linebacker, Vincent Brown. It's a short pickup. Tillman has run 6 times, only 14 yards, picked up 2 on the play. It's a 3rd and 8.
Whole bunch of 5s. I mean, the most they had the ball was 6 plays, and ended up in the punt. They started with a field goal. They had excellent field position when they got the field goal. They started at their own 48-yard line, ended up with a field goal, and from then on out, it's been punts. They can't run the football against New England.
3rd and 8 at the 37. We're just underway. 3rd quarter. Catch by Conway. He's able to get to the marker. Let's see where they spot it.
He's going to be short because they mark it where the ball comes down.
Rod Smith on the tackle.
Good play by Smith. I mean, a nice pass by Walsh. He hits Conway, but Conway does not get the first down. And you're talking about at the 46-yard line. Do you go for it? I don't think so. Boy, I'll tell you, we're looking at that marker, though, Marv. I'm sorry. The marker was almost at the 46-yard line, and that ball is just outside the 45. That is a heads-up play. I didn't think that they had first down, but don't trust the marker.
I tell you, Curtis Conway wasn't certain either. He was a little sheepish when he was able to get back up. That's the second catch of the game at a first down at the 45-yard line. Conway in motion. Off the fake handoff. Leaping attempt by Conway, and it's incomplete. He was covered by Chris Slade.
That ball was high, but the ball should have been caught. It was thrown a little bit high. A lot of play action, and it is holding the linebackers a little bit, not much. But Conway is there. Look at this ball. It's high. He just doesn't break down, and he's really not looking at Slade either. He's looking at the ball. He just didn't have control of the ball.
Second down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Jeff Graham, who has been very quiet, only one catch today, is flanked to the left. And now Conway to the right. Walsh going deep. It's only the second time that he has tried to go long. First, providing the coverage on Graham.
Now I know why I thought the guy didn't make the first down. If you look at where they put that little orange flag down there on the other side of the field and where the marker is, it's in front of the flag. Now, that's third down. If you go 10 yards to the right, guys. Now you see the marker there? Look where the flag is. It's out in front. I'm just covering myself. That's it. Yeah, it is. An accurate field marking.
Which is always extremely annoying.
It is, especially when you're wrong. You try to cover your tracks.
Third down and 10 at the 45-yard line, but first the timeout taken by the Bears with 13:18 to go in the third.
It's gotta be Domino. By Heineken, the #1 imported beer. Heineken, just being the best is enough. And by the American Express corporate card.
Paul, notice the play on words here.
Yes.
Get it? Good.
Did you get it? You know, the Bears, 7 out of their 8 third down plays have been third and long. They've only had 1 third and short today.
And this is a 3rd and 10 for the Bears from their 45-yard line as we resume with a minute and 45 gone by. Third quarter, Patriots leading 6-3. It is broken up, intended for Jeff Graham, covered by the right corner, Maurice Hurst. And the punting unit will come on. The Bears not getting help from the Giants. Dallas and the Giants are now tied in the third quarter. There are many other possibilities, as we have touched on, for the Bears to make the playoffs. Even if they lose here today, they need a giant victory over Dallas. They need Green Bay to lose to Tampa Bay, but Green Bay is well in front. And again, a short punt. Gardocki hearing it from the crowd as it is down. Handled by Carter. 34-yard punt. We'll be right back. 42-degree and sunny day here at Soldier Field in Chicago. The sun has come out for the second half.
Patriots have all they want in the weather. All they have to do now is just start to throw the football. They've got to get Ben Coates in the ball game.
And that is defensive coordinator Al Groh in the discussion. Number 59, Vincent Brown. See Chris Slade. Patriots start out from their 22-yard line. They lead the Bears 6-3. And it's fumbled. Sam Gash lost the handle, and then it was recovered. Well, if Cleveland holds on for the victory, they would host the wild card game next week. I mentioned the many possibilities involving the Bears and the Patriots. If the Bears lose, they are in the playoffs. If a number of situations occur, now this is not going their way. They needed a loss by Green Bay, need a victory by the Giants, need Arizona to lose in Atlanta. And the catch made up at the 30-yard line by Michael Chip. Stopped by Dante Jones. This game has no effect at all, except on the individual players and family members for him.
Yeah, they kept the flight back home for Christmas. That's about it.
It'll be a 3rd down and 2 at the 30-yard line. 3 minutes gone by in this 3rd quarter. Now, if the Bears win or tie, we always say tie. There hasn't been a tie in the NFL since 1989, but they're in the playoffs. And the same with the Patriots, as Leroy Thompson picks up the 1st down. Run out by the free safety, Mark Carrier. If the Patriots win, or should this be a tie, they are automatically in the playoffs. And they even have a shot to win the division, depending on Miami and Detroit tomorrow.
All right, Marv, take a look at here. Here comes the blitz by Kane. He comes up free, but when they do that, there's nobody to cover the back coming out of the backfield. Watch this. There goes the blitz up inside. Hold it right here, boys. Here's our guy, all by himself. 1st down. That was easy.
He went for 19 yards. Now the 1st down play. He stumbled and then tried to get up, but put down by Maurice Douglas.
Boy, Maurice Douglas made a nice play. He comes up and takes on the blocker and then makes the tackle. He saves a big gain on that play. And it's very difficult to bring Butts down.
Numbers on Butts, 10 carries and 27 yards. Picked up only a yard here. It's a 2nd down and 9 out of midfield. New England Patriots trying for their 7th straight win. Last time they did it, 1986. Bledsoe taken down for the 2nd time. He was stripped of the ball. The Bears say they have it.
Patriots say they have it. Now, who are you going to believe? The official.
Possession here is such a difficult call, and the call is for New England. The center Arthur on the recovery.
Well, that time, you know, again, we're seeing Bledsoe with so much confidence in his offensive line. Watch this. He's waiting. And then when he steps up to the inside, that was Trace Armstrong, number 93, who knocks the ball away. But Arthur gets it back. It'll be 3rd and about 13.
And Paul Armstrong gets credit for the sack. He is 7.5 for the season.
He really likes it, his defensive line.
Bledsoe over the middle. That's the first catch by Coates, but he's short of a 1st down. Ben Coates with reception number 94 for the season. He's now 2 catches away from setting the record for most receptions by a tight end in a single season. A fellow by the name of Todd Christensen. That's T. Christensen, Paul. Did it with the Raiders. He's the record holder with 95 back in 1986. Todd also had 92 in 1983. Neal punting away. Graham, number 15, with coverage.
Jeff Graham,
30-yard punt, 3-yard return. 9:49 left in the 3rd.
Coming
in your area.
There's Vincent Smith going down. So we have 2 quarters to go, guys. We got to win it. We can't depend on somebody else to do it for us.
And Chicago takes over at its 7-yard line. Wet night in motion. Pickup of 3 met by Chris Slade. Raymond Harris, the 4th round draft pick, the rookie from Ohio State. He's carried 5 times, only 12 yards.
Chris Slade made a super play as a linebacker. He just stayed right there with the play and makes the play. He's looking for some help. Watch Chris Slade just slide down. He slides down the line of scrimmage. He slides down. That's Andy Heck with him. Look at him slide. He slides, and then makes the play. That's outstanding linebacker.
2nd down. 7 from the 20-yard line. Double by Harris. And Chicago Bears a very low turnover ball club. They make very few mistakes. You don't score that many points, which is the case with the Bears. That is of great significance. One of the reasons the record is 9-6. It's a 3rd and 6 from the 21. a first down. He goes for 21 yards with his second catch of the day. Hit by Harlan Barnett and brought down.
Boy, another long down, but that time, Steve Walsh, watch this pass. It is absolutely perfect. Graham is there. The linebackers don't get deep enough, and they pick up the first down. We were talking to Coach Wanstead yesterday, and the one thing he said to us is, we're not an exciting team. We don't, we play close to the best on almost everything. We've got to get turnovers, and they haven't gotten any so far today. So in order for us to win, we've got to get at least 3.
And Walsh on first down at the 43. Again, Graham took the hit at the marker. Myron Guyton on the stop. And let's see where they spot this one.
This is a bullet. Steve Walsh throwing a short pass. You see, he hadn't had any success at all on the long stuff. All of his stuff is short. Here it comes now. Research lets Graham go to the inside. Guyton, number 29, is the safety that's supposed to pick him up there. And here comes Guyton. Graham is there. Nice catch. Holds on to the ball. First down.
It is a Chicago Bear first down. Steve Walsh telling us yesterday after practice that this is the most comfortable he has ever felt in an NFL offense. Felt he was out of place in New Orleans. They wanted to go occasionally to the vertical game, put the ball downfield. That's just not his game.
No, it's not. His game is a short game. Play action passes. Good running game. And don't force the ball.
We saw the reverse earlier succeed for New England, but not this time as Conway is stopped. Vincent Brown was right there. Yes, Paul.
Did you see that fake? I mean, that was beautiful.
Tackled by Jones and Vincent Brown.
He comes to the outside.
Gain of 2.
Curtis Conway on this play. Watch the moves that he makes. That's Ricky Reynolds. Hold it right there. Watch Ricky Reynolds. He's going to go this way. Conway goes this way. This is easy.
Well, it's a gain of 2 and a 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line. Harris, who was in motion. Keith Jennings stopped by Myron Guyton. Again, a bullet thrown by Walsh. Cleveland still in front of Seattle. Browns can hold on. They will host the wild card. Now the Giants back in front of Dallas, which is good news for the Bears. A giant victory would do it for the Bears, no matter what happens here today. That is not news for the Bears. Green Bay leading Tampa Bay. Bears need a loss from the Green Bay Packers. Atlanta in front of Arizona. More good news for Chicago. Straight ahead goal by Tillman, and with the burst has a first down. Ricky Reynolds made the stop, and the Bears with their most impressive offensive drive of the game as Tillman goes for 11 more.
Before this, 14 rushes, 29 yards for the Bears, and Lewis Tillman. Here is the hole. You pound away, you pound away, you pound away, and then finally something breaks. Guyton gets in and helps out of the play with Ricky Reynolds. Number 21, 29 there is Guyton, but that's first down.
Play of the drive. First down at the 29-yard line. Tillman running well. First to the 25, stopped by Chris Slade.
This is Bears football. This is Parcells is saying, get low, get down, get into the hole. But this really is. This is Bears football. This is what they do best. They pound away and pound away, run a play action pass, pick up 7 or 8 yards. They're in field goal range right now.
Grant to the left, Conway is to the right. 4 to go. In the third quarter, long drive for the Chicago Bears, who are down by 3 points. The snap was fumbled and covered up by Walsh.
And recovered. No gain on the play. 3rd and 5 at the New England.
Walsh never gets this ball from center. I mean, he's got his hands there, and it doesn't look like he pulled him away too. He might have pulled him away just a little bit too soon, or his hands were too far apart. Either the ball hits up, and he just doesn't grab onto the ball. That's Walsh's fault.
Third down play, Robert Green down the backfield. Tom Waddle has come out as the third wideout. This is Green, short of the first down.
Robert Green, the ball
So that fumble costly on this drive, reamed up by Vincent Brown. And here comes Kevin Butler. Kevin Butler hit from 44 yards out in the first quarter, and right here will attempt to tie the game from long range.
What, 89?
The final score.
I know, but you said it.
That's true.
Well, remember, you said it.
It's a 38-yard attempt.
Block.
Oh, it's blocked. And covered up.
Lewis is the man that ends up with the ball. Vernon Lewis, number 43, but I don't know who blocked it.
Looked to be Troy Barnett.
This ball is, I mean, take a look at it. There's a snap. There is penetration. You're right, Barnett. Boy, look at that. I mean, that penetration is about 4 yards deep into the backfield. That's just an outstanding play.
So the 38-yard attempt by Butler is blocked, and the score remains Patriots 6, Bears 3.
They gave Troy Barnett the ball. Now watch it. He's going to come right over Lewinberg, the center. And this is perfect. He takes the center all the way back. Watch the penetration and then gets up in the air. Boy, that's beautiful.
For the Patriots, the first goal they have blocked since October of '89. As Butts is stopped by Zorich. Darrell Holmes did it against San Francisco, October of '89, the last time New England blocked a field goal.
In New England, they kicked off in the second half. There's Troy Barnett. They kicked off in the second half against the wind. So they want the wind in their back in the fourth quarter, and also they'll have the sun at their back for the receivers.
Second down and 8. Beautiful catch by Ben Coates. That's only his second reception of the day. It's a first down for the Patriots. The combination of Vincent Smith and Dante Jones making the tackle.
Well, you know, it's only a matter of time, and here comes Ben Coates. So this ball, watch where it's going. To the outside, only Ben Coates has a chance at the ball. Nobody else has a chance at it. Dante Jones has no chance. Here comes Coates. So watch. Takes the linebacker, gets to the outside in that crack between the two linebackers for a first down.
And that ties the record. He ties Thompson most receptions in a single season by a tight end. It's 95. Incomplete intended for Michael Timpson. So there it is. Ben Coates with his 95th catch.
On the Bears coverage. Second and 10.
And Ben Coates leading the AFC in total receptions. Earlier we mentioned all the Bears possibilities, even if they do not win here today. If the Patriots win, they clinch a playoff spot. They're also alive to win the division. Now, if they should lose here, the only way to win is if the Raiders knock off Kansas City in the second of our doubleheader. Good catch in the crowd.
John Burke.
Bledsoe's pass complete.
Burke stopped by Dante Jones. Burke, his second catch of the day.
A gain of 6.
But again, I think for New England to do anything in this ball game, really, they've got to throw the football. Running the ball is just not what they do very well. Obviously, the only team in the National Football that's under 3 yards per rush, 2.8 to be exact.
3rd and 4. First down picked up by Michael Timpson. Dante Jones on the stop. 3rd catch for Timpson in his 6th year out of Penn State. And he has had a tremendous season. 73 receptions for the year.
The guy that makes really all this stuff happen is Ben Coates. Now, Michael Timpson, they got 2 people on Ben Coates all the time. Timpson, look at this. He's open. They're well off of him. Dante Jones is a linebacker. I mean, he's in a position, but not in a position to make the play. Ben Coates draws a crowd.
That's 18 of 29, 181 yards. First down at the 48, the pitch to Thompson. Right in center right, but he stopped back behind the line. Dante Jones able to jump out from his middle linebacker position.
I think that was the play to get them out of the third quarter and get the wind at their back and the sun at their back when they're throwing to the receivers. By that I'm saying when they're going downfield now, they're looking, the receivers when they turn, they're looking directly into the sun. Now they'll have their back to the sun. Bledsoe will have the sun, but he knows where his players are.
And you can see the third quarter is winding down. When we open up in the fourth, it'll be a 2nd and 11 for New England. 3 points for the Patriots. Back after this from your local station. 2 field goals by Matt Marv from 29 and from 22. Butler from 44, and that's all the scoring that we have seen as that pass was intended for Ben Coates as this fourth quarter gets underway.
And Armstrong down on the field.
Incomplete. Mark Carrier on the coverage.
Bruce Armstrong, number 78, is down.
As you can see, the New England Patriots have been a very strong fourth quarter team. This coming into today. As the game has progressed, they have gotten stronger. Armstrong being helped off. Bruce Armstrong named to the Pro Bowl for a 3rd time, being replaced by Brandon Moore, 2nd-year player from Duke.
He's got a towel up to his eye. It looks like he might have got poked in the eye. And that is good news. In the first half, Patriots rushing 70 yards. In the third quarter, 2 yards.
Moore and Harlow of the tackles. Ritchie and Frankfurt the guards to the center. It's a 3rd down and 11. 8th play of this drive. And Bledsoe completes but short of the first down. Ben Coates stopped by Barry Minter, a backup linebacker.
You see that time they had Moore out on the outside on Alonzo Spellman, and then he ended up with getting some help from Cratch, number 61.
Good play by Minter, a man who was acquired last year in a trade with Dallas, but that is, for all intents and purposes, the record for a tight end. Coates with his 3rd catch. You know that Todd Christensen is complaining that there was a very impressive 96th reception by Coates. Somewhere, probably watching on satellite, I will make that point. It's a 35-yard punt by O'Neal. A minute gone by in the fourth. We'll be right back.
New Year's Day.
There's Bruce Armstrong working on his left eye. He got poked in the eye by Alonzo Spellman. We'll show it to you. Watch this hand right here, the left hand. When he comes up, I'll get that out of the way. Right here. There's where he hits him, right in the eye, right there. And you'll see Bruce Armstrong. Once Spellman is down, he stays with the play. Look at that. And then goes eye. Got me in the eye. Got me in the eye, man. Got me in the eye.
Well, Bruce Armstrong trying to work it out to make his return when the Patriots get back to the offense. 1 minute in, fourth quarter. It's the Patriots 6 and the Bears 3 at Soldier Field in Chicago on a beautiful 42-degree day in the Windy City. The Bears from their 9-yard line. Walsh with the fake. And it's carried by Conway. First down for the Bears. Hurst on the tackle. That's good for 21.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't like to see what I'm seeing right now, and that is New England Patriots backing off because they have not thrown the ball deep. Look at Walsh goes that Conway here, but look at how much room there is on the outside. The ball is high, and Hurst is that far off. Conway comes downfield. There just really isn't anybody there. Watch this. They're deep. They're off. There's no help to that guy. That's the guy who's been thrown to all day long. You're going to put 2 people on someone. Put it on him.
The Bears now first down from the 30-yard line. Intended for Raymond Harris, who should have had it off the play fake.
See, let him have those short guys right there. Let him have those, Marv. Just don't let him throw that 15 to 20-yard downfield.
Well, the Giants now in front of Dallas, so that is good news for the Bears. Galawiso hitting from 30 yards away to extend to a 15-10 lead. Green Bay leading Tampa Bay. Bears victory by Tampa Bay. Any one of those possibilities, including a win here by Chicago, would do it for the Bears. Here's Tillman sweep. But just a short pickup. Ricky Reynolds made the stop.
This is the part of the ball game where players start complaining they're being held.
A gain of 5. 3rd and 5.
And there's another pretty fair player out of Jackson State.
Wasn't bad.
Lewis Tillman from Jackson State, one of the all-time greats, Walter Payton, watching his former club.
He was something, wasn't he?
3rd down and 5 at the 34. Short set by Walsh, and he completes, and it appears that that'll be marked as a first down. Conway hit by Smith, and it is a first down for the Bears.
Boy, you know, they're coming out from inside the 10-yard line, and now, you know, you don't want to let the Bears get into a long drive. Their blitz is on one-on-one coverage on the outside, and it ends up with Rod Smith one-on-one on Conway. You don't have to blitz this team. You can get to them with 4 and most 5. That's really need to send.
First down from the 42-yard line, and it's Raymond Harris who is driven back. Mike Jones made the stop. This is only the 7th time that the Bears and the Patriots have played over the years. They have each won 3. That includes the Super Bowl. The Bears beating the Patriots in Super Bowl number 20 back in the 1985 season. Chicago Bears at that time, coached by Mike Ditka. Patriots coached by Raymond Berry. 2nd down and 7 at the 45-yard line. It's dropped by Harris again. He should have made the catch.
Raymond Harris that's just lack of concentration. Here we have one of your major ultra drops from Ultraman, but I mean, this ball's over the middle. Look at this ball, perfectly thrown. You can't throw it any better. Hit him in the chest. That's lack of concentration.
3rd down and 7 at the 45-yard line. Now 1 deep back scored by the Bears. Able to complete to Tom Waddle, who battled his way at the marker in a fight with Myron Guyton for possession, and they're calling for a measurement.
It's hard for me to believe that you stay off these guys as far as they do when you know Walsh is throwing 6-yard patterns. The Buffalo Bills came in here, played the Chicago Bears, and they were playing off like 15 to 20 yards, and Walsh went up and down the field on these guys. And no one can understand why you don't play up short. He can't. We've seen him. He doesn't really throw the ball. He can throw it. He can't throw it very well deep.
And it is a first down for Chicago.
When you take a look at these guys back here, why they're there, I don't know. Here's the first down marker there. Get up. Look at them that Waddle has to catch the ball. That make a lot of sense.
Walsh now 12 for 27, 136 yards. See what Chicago is doing in the second half. They've had a couple of very impressive drives. First down play, a deep drop by Walsh, and he goes short range. Tillman had it knocked away. The Patriots are on the ball.
They're saying no, it's an incompleted pass. They never had possession.
Well, we saw this on several occasions last week against Buffalo. Andre Reed was rocked twice, but this one is called incomplete.
Now, I'm going to tell you what, from that angle, that's Lewis, Vernon Lewis making the play. That looked like Tillman had the ball because 2 feet, once 2 feet hit the ground. Let's take a look at it. Here's Tillman, 1, 2, no. I agree. From that side, your official was right. He never had control of the football. Good call.
Therefore, the 9th play of the drive, a second down and 10. Screen for Tillman. And once again, the ball was dropped.
What a play by Marty Moore, though, the linebacker. He's sitting outside. He's getting blocked and still makes the play. Number 58 is the linebacker, Marty Moore. What's this? Here, hold on a second. He is right here being blocked, and look what he does. Not only that, he gets his hand in there. There's no catch. He'd have made the play anyway.
Marty Marty Moore, rookie from Kentucky, Paul, crowned as Mr. Irrelevant as the last player selected in the draft. On the 7th round, a selection by the Patriots in the starting lineup this afternoon. 3rd down and 10. And Walsh running for it. Has a first down.
To me, I can't believe that they're sitting there knowing that this guy is not going to throw the ball deep. He's going to throw shortstop or run the ball that time, and you have nobody up there. Marv, when you take a look at these two guys sitting back here and watch what happens here. Here they go. Watch this. They run off. Look where everybody is. They're 25 yards away from this guy, from the quarterback. That's good hustle by Walsh.
First down at the New England 36-yard line. Play action. And Walsh. Tight end Keith Jennings. Byron Guyton on the stop, and they move the chains again. How about this Bear drive? They convert on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10, and once again right here.
And here it is to the tight end Keith Jennings, number 85. Play action pass. Bam. First down.
9.5 to go. 4th quarter. Patriots 6. Bear 3. 12th play of the drive that began back at the 9-yard line. Tillman was stopped in his tracks. He tried to accelerate. Willie McGinnis was right there. Right here. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel at our New York studio. Greg?
All right, Marv, as you and Paul well know, up at 4 Eastern time, there is Joe Montana getting ready for the Chiefs against the Raiders. The winner is into the playoffs. If New England wins, the loser is out. That's the big doubleheader game coming up next on NBC. Marv?
Thank you, Greg. As you see, just 9 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. 2nd down and 11 for Walsh and the Bears. And it's broken up. The pass intended for Raymond Harris, covered by Harlan Barnett, who got a piece of it.
But you know what's making this drive work, don't you? The offense, and which I haven't mentioned, is the offensive line of the Bears. They are doing a great job. They're giving Steve Walsh all the time he wants to throw the football.
That's Heck and the big cat Williams at the tackles. Perry and Leuenberg at the guards, and Fontenot at center. 5.5-minute drive, and pulled off here by the Bears. 3rd down. 11. Down at the New England 25. And Walsh completed to Harris, stopped by Brown. So the Bears continue to go to the rookie Raymond Harris, but he is short of a first down.
Field goal time.
Ball spotted at the 19, so it's 4th and about 4. And there's Butler on a 36-yard attempt. His last attempt was blocked from 38 yards away. The angle to the left. Gardocki will put it down. Line drives it.
He missed it.
No good. Butler missing from 36. The Patriots maintain the lead.
Okay.
Welcome back to Chicago. Just a moment ago, Kevin Butler, who had one blocked earlier, missed an attempt from 36. So the Patriots with a 6-3 lead, and they take over at their 26-yard line. And Bledsoe with a nice sideline pattern for the backup tight end, John Burke. That's good for 14 and a first down.
All right, Marv, hold on right here. When it turned right here, when he makes a turn right here, look at that ball's perfect. And Butler just hooks it. That's all he does is hook the ball. I mean, the hold is good, and here's the hook. Watch this. Not even close, Marv. Not close.
First 10, the New England 41.
The holder did his job. The kicker didn't.
First down for the Patriots at the 41-yard line. Off the delay, Leroy Thompson.
Leroy Thompson, the ball carrier. Tackled by Trace
Armstrong on the tackle
New England 44.
of Thompson.
There's Butler. The block was not his fault. Now, the block was by Troy Barnett was an excellent block. The kick before that. This one here, Chris Gardocki, the center, did a good job. Chris Gardocki did a good job. He took the ball.
Butler several weeks back hooked one against the Minnesota Vikings. He's had a solid year, coming in at 20 of 26. Bledsoe throwing deep. Beautiful pitch was made by Timpson in a race with the right corner, Jeremy Lincoln.
Boy, was this pass perfect. Absolutely perfect. Watch where Bledsoe puts the ball. Lincoln really does not have a chance. To the inside, Timpson is there. Jeremy Lincoln, here we're going to see it. Watch where he throws the ball. To the inside. Good move by Timpson here, but the ball into the inside of the field, Lincoln has no chance.
35-yard pickup and a first down at the 20-yard line. Here's Gash trying to find a hole, but he's hit down for a loss. Sam Gash running to his left, looking for the hole. Could not find it. Quick check of the doors. Cleveland on its way to hosting in the wild card next week with the rout against Seattle. This is very good news for the Chicago Bears. No matter what happens here today, if the Giants beat Dallas, the Bears still make the playoffs. Not good news for the Bears. Green Bay in front of Tampa Bay, and that is not good news for the Giants. Even if the Giants beat Dallas, if Green Bay wins, they do not make the playoffs. Bledsoe up a circle pattern. He's intercepted. He is picked off. Carrier, who was looking to lateral, then taken down. Mark Carrier with his second interception of the season. The right tackle, Pat Harlow, made the stop.
That time Bledsoe ran a bootleg, and he was trying to hit Burke, his tight end, number 85, and threw the interception. Let's take a look at the interception now. I'm going to show you something. This is a bootleg in which Bledsoe goes back. Banksy comes out here by himself. Now, when we get to here, hold it now. Here's Carrier right here. Watch what he's doing. He's looking right directly into his eyes. He sees the throw. He steps in front of Burke, John Burke, and makes the interception. Good play.
So the Bears take over, and that pass deflected, intended for Graham. Hurst got a piece. Notice Mark Carrier protecting the ball, playing with that dislocated thumb, playing with a cast.
Maurice Hurst is the guy that gets the shot here. Watch this. He's playing. He knows he's got help deep, so he's playing short. Number 29, Guyton is coming in, and Maurice just makes a nice play. Almost had the interception there. Back.
There is Mark Carrier, who's not having one of his banner seasons. He's doing okay, but he came up with a second interception. Walsh's pass incomplete. McGinnis on the coverage of Harris.
Willie McGinnis on the coverage.
Mark Carrier in 1990 led the NFL with 10 interceptions. See the cast on the left hand. Mark was Defensive Rookie of the Year, double pick out of the University of Southern California. He is a three-time Pro Bowl player, playing with a cast because of a dislocated thumb and a dislocated pinky. Not an easy chore when you're facing the bullet throws of Drew Bledsoe.
And also on a cold day. No, it isn't.
Third down and 10. Walsh stepping up and incomplete. Waddle, the intended receiver, he was looking for a flag. The Patriots applauding that. There was no call. Terry Ray making the good play.
There was no call. Look at Waddle. You are laughing. You are looking, trying to get a gift. There is no gift. Boom. Ball's there. Whoa! I mean, he ran through him. He's going to the ball. The officials, I mean, you know, we're seeing it there. The officials are seeing it full speed. I'm not making excuse, but that was very close.
That's Troy Brown awaiting the sixth punt of the day from Chris Gardocki. The Bears have to give it up with 5:15 remaining in this fourth quarter. Fair catch by Brown. It's a 38-yard punt. Back in Chicago, that is a very impressive stat orchestrated by the defensive coordinator, Al Groh, who certainly made the adjustments in the second half last week against Buffalo. Will McDonough telling us about that superstitious ploy that the Patriots utilize. And a gang tackle of Sam Gash preventing him from making the move, led by Trace Armstrong. Does that fit in the overhead bid on the charter plane, I think, Paul?
No, it's in Al Grove's bag, his heavy coat. You know, the one thing about the Patriots, you know, we talked to Drew Bledsoe before about Parcells, when Parcells jumps in his face about it. He said, the one thing he's never really done, he's never taken me out of the game. He still lets me do the things that I do best. And you got to let him do it here. He's let him throw the football.
Coming up on 4.5 minutes. Remaining fourth quarter, Patriots 6 and the Bears 3. Coates dropped it. And that is rare. Ben Coates had his mind on making the turn on the defender, Mo Douglas, and did not hold on.
Bledsoe had Albert Fontenot, number 96, in his face. And here's Coates to the outside. This would have been probably a short game, but he just took his eyes off the ball. Douglas was there. He would have caught the ball again for about a 3 or 4 yard gain. And that would have been about all.
It's a 3rd and 10 at the 48. Marv Albert with Paul Maguire from Soldier Field in Chicago. The flags are thrown.
Flags all over.
They got Trace Armstrong moving, and the guy that moved right along with him was Pat Harlow, number 77.
We've seen a couple of these long discussions. I believe they'll be serving coffee and donuts.
Just.
We have a neutral zone infraction on the defensive team, causing the offense to move. 5 yards against the defense. Still 3rd down.
It's on Trace Armstrong, and he is not very happy about it. But this is when they get to the neutral zone. Watch this man right here. When he gets it into the neutral zone, and he's going to now he make Harlow move, and once he does that, they're calling it now on the defense. This is the first year they've been doing that.
3rd down and 5, but the clock a factor. Patriots who ran effectively in the first half, not running at all here in the second. Broken out.
And the flag.
A late flag thrown as Coates was hit from behind by Lincoln, and the Bears react in a very vigorous fashion.
You know why? Because the official couldn't get the flag out of pocket. I was sitting there watching it because the hit was early.
Defensive pass interference. 1st down.
And the official really never got a chance to get the flag out. He was reaching for it and reaching for it. Here it is. Coach come down and watch Lincoln. He's on him. That's pass interference. Remember, the illegal chuck after 5 yards. But the official was off to the right-hand side, and he really couldn't get the flag out.
Jeremy Lincoln goes 5'10", 180 pounds, trying to cover in single coverage the 6'5", 245-pound Ben Coates. Out of the Chicago 35 as Butts pulls his way inside the 30-yard line. Stopped by Trace Armstrong, and now in the second half, the Patriots have run for 9 yards compared to 70 yards on the ground in the first half.
And there's your stat there, but timeouts. New England has 3. The Bears only have 2. And I don't think they can take one. If it goes down to 3rd down, they can't take a timeout here. They've got to wait until they get inside of 3 minutes.
2nd down. Chicago 30. His Butts flag is tossed. Butts very difficult to bring down. Zorich and Armstrong combined on the stop, but again a flag.
It's in the area holding. Yeah, it's holding.
A flag on the play. Preliminary signal holding against
Cleveland on its way to wrapping up.
Holding.
Hosting of the wild card.
Number 51. 10 yards. Repeat 2nd down.
Bob Cratch, the left guard, called on the penalty. Giants maintaining their lead. Green Bay in front of Tampa Bay, but Bear fans should be most involved with that giant Dallas score. No matter what happens here, if the Giants knock off the Cowboys, the Bears would make the playoffs. For the Patriots, if they win here, they make the playoffs. And then the question is, can they win the division? That will be determined by virtue of the Miami-Detroit game tomorrow night. If New England loses, then they must root for the Reds to beat Kansas City. And we told us the final score, the Bears have made the playoffs. No matter what happens here, because the Giants have defeated the Cowboys. Bledsoe throwing deep. Flag is thrown as the catch is made by Brisby.
And they have Donnell Wolford holding Brisby. So that would have given him the first down on the holding penalty. Well, they set that up beautifully. And again, I'm saying that Bill Parcells.
21. Penalties refused, first down.
Yeah, that's on Donnell Wolford. The thing about Parcells, he doesn't take the game out of this young man's hands, Marv. He lets him do things. I mean, you're talking about you're inside 3 minutes and 35 seconds, and he lets Bledsoe throw a little pitch and go downfield to Vincent Brisby. Wolford was holding. He knew he was holding. Carrier gets over and makes the play, but it's already over.
And it's a 31-yard advance and a first and goal at the 9-yard line. Butts picked up a yard on the play. That giant victory over Dallas in the final 15-10 eliminates Arizona, puts the Bears in the playoffs. There it is. But this does not mean anything as far as the Giants are concerned, because Green Bay well in front of its game in Tampa Bay. If the Packers win and the Giants do not make the playoffs, despite the tremendous move down the stretch after they lost 7 in a row, but it turns out to be too late. The Bears, folks, are in no matter what. Now the question is regarding the Patriots. Also, seeding is still up in the air in the NFC Central. There are all kinds of possibilities. Here's the announcement on the Giants game. Portion of the crowd that realizes it's such a complicated situation. I'm sure a lot of folks don't realize that means the Bears have made it. Timeout is called with 2:46 to go in this fourth quarter.
Coming up.
Well, that is coming up next on most of these NBC stations. Game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. We'll see either Kansas City and the Raiders or Pittsburgh and San Diego. Drew Bledsoe is now 22 of 36, 274 yards, and 1 interception. The receiving star today has been Vincent Brisby, who has come a long way this season. He's been a sleeper find in his second year out of Northeast Louisiana. There is Brisby, 6 catches, 115 yards. Set the ball at the 9. Simpson in motion. Again to the ground. And a nice hole for Leroy Thompson. Stopped by the strong safety, Sean Gale. So Thompson manages to get inside the 5-yard line.
You see Drew Bledsoe, he threw up his hands. He saw that hole was so wide when Thompson was going through it. He put his hands up when Thompson got to the 5-yard line. He thought he had touchdown. Watch this guy right here, Bledsoe. Watch his hands after he hands the ball off. He goes back. Here comes Thompson in the hole, and Bledsoe puts his hands up. I got touchdown. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Timeout taken by the Bears with 2:28 to go in this fourth quarter. Chicago has 1 timeout left, and New England with 2 remaining. The New England Patriots seeking to make the playoffs for the first time since 1986, and they're gunning for their 7th straight win. The last time they won 7 straight was 86. They finished 11-5. It's the year after their only Super Bowl appearance back in '78 under Chuck Fairbanks. The Patriots had a 7-game win streak. Remember Fairbanks quitting in the final week. Patriots losing in the first round to the Houston Oilers.
I'll tell you one thing, there are a lot of teams in the AFC that don't want to see this team in. I'm talking about the Patriots. The way they're playing 7 straight. They're hot. They've got the hot quarterback. They're playing great defense. Imagine if they can only run the ball.
Although the hot quarterback to this point has not been able to get into the end zone, but an excellent opportunity right here as he fires away. Touchdown! Gibson handling that ball, and that is is the first touchdown of the afternoon.
Well, you hit that right on the head. You talk about a bullet. That'll empty the seats. Bledsoe, I mean, he just drilled this ball to Leroy Thompson. Remember, Roy Thompson has a broken finger. Excellent catch between two defenders. Touchdown.
2:42 on the clock.
The Patriots now lead 12-3. Leroy Thompson with his 7th touchdown of the season. His 5th as a receiver.
The Bears 3. There's a timeout.
And Marv adding the extra point for a 10-point New England lead.
Well, you're absolutely right about the bullet. I mean, Bledsoe just steps back and fires. Nobody really had a chance except Thompson. Look at this. It's between two defenders, and they run into each other. Dante Jones and Joe Kane hit each other. The perfect pass. Here it is. Bam, touchdown. And these two guys wipe each other out. Kane and Jones. But, you know, again, look at this guy. It's the one thing that Parcells does not take the game away from him. And that's, you know, he says, Parcells yells at me. I have to yell a little bit louder sometimes to get his attention. That's terrific. Let him do what he does best. To the sideline.
The New England Patriots take a 13-3 lead with 2:32 remaining in the 4th quarter. Paul, one other ramification of the Patriots hold on and win. It affects the Los Angeles Raiders. It means it forces the Raiders to have to win today to make the playoffs. They'll be in a situation where they must win, maybe, against Kansas City. That's the easiest way. Check out your morning newspaper. With the return across the 30-yard line. Sam Gash involved on the tackle.
Tackled by Gash.
As far as these two clubs are concerned, although the Chicago Bears certainly would like the W here, but still, they made their way into the playoffs, and if the Patriots hold on and win, they make the playoffs and could even win the division, which is an incredible turnaround by Bill Parcells and his club from a year ago. Walsh completed to the tight end, Ryan Whitnight.
Walsh to Whitnight.
This place is so quiet. And, you know, I agree with you. I think that most of these people don't realize that the Bears are in. I mean, the place is emptying out, but their team is in the playoffs.
And Walsh in the hurry-up completes again. This time it's Waddle has a first down at midfield. 2 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter, so we will take a break.
And Bill Parcells.
I would say we have the 2 top candidates for that honor. Yes, Parcells in the AFC and lockstep in the NFC. 2nd down and 1, and Walsh trying to step up, couldn't locate anyone, and is taken down by Willie McGinnis, a rookie from Southern Cal. A fumble on the play recovered by the Patriots.
Arrows number 97 gets the recovery. Willie McGinnis makes the hit. Well, this one I blame on Steve Walsh anyway, because he's staying there too long. He's got to get rid of it. There was a face mask in there on McGinnis anyway by number 71, James Williams, but he got it with it. They got the ball.
What a performance by the Patriot defensive unit, and they get the ball back. McGinnis receiving credit for the sack. 4.5 sacks for the season. Down to 1.5 minutes to go. And the Patriots just looking to run it out. Well, the employee owners of Avis would like to salute the game's MVP, and we are awarding it to the entire Patriot defensive unit plus the shovel.
And a mention for the hose.
Yes.
It's along with the shovel.
7 straight wins with Al Groh, the defensive coordinator, bringing the shovel along the last 7 weeks. And the whole unit has taken honors of today's We Try Harder award. Avis, the official rental company of the National Football League, The Bears held to only 3 points today, only 248 yards. Now, the Bears are not one of the powerhouse offenses of the NFL. In fact, when they scored 27 points to beat the Rams last week, that was the most points scored by the Bears this season by the offense. But still, tremendous effort by the New England defense. Walsh finishes at 17 of 38, 185 yards. And Bledsoe, after a slow start, picked it up 23 for 37, 277 yards, 1 touchdown, and he was picked off once.
And Dave Wassett told us yesterday, Marv, we've got to take them away. They took the ball away one time on a drive. They took it away from Bledsoe. They were getting ready to score. And then they couldn't convert on 2 field goals. One that would have tied the game. The other one, if one was blocked, and then the other one was just missed.
As you see, we are under a minute remaining in the game. Patriots 13 and the Bears 3. And the Patriots just running out the clock. And for the second straight week, a little Gatorade shower getting to the head area this time. They were very cautious last week.
Well, yeah, last week Bledsoe did it. No one would help him. So this week, Guyton comes in. He jumps in and helps out a little bit.
Yes, Myron part of it as a member of the Giants. That's where this began for Bill Parcells. And of most significance, Al Groh apparently retrieving the shovel.
Most valuable shovel. Our Avis most valuable shovel. First time a shovel has ever won a car.
Yes. We're not giving away cars here.
Well, it could.
So time runs out. But both the Patriots and the Bears are headed to the playoffs. The Bears do it by virtue the Giant victory over Dallas, and the Patriots do it with their 7th straight win. They finish at 10-6. The Bears go to 9-7, and now the Patriots can still make it in terms of the division. That depends on Miami and Detroit tomorrow night. For Paul Maguire McDonough, I'm Marv Albert saying so long from Soldier Field. This has been a presentation of NBC Sports.